Checking if I'm live. Checking my sound. And if you're able to see my slides. I'd like some feedback. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. Perfect, perfect. This is good news. Right, it's time. Welcome, welcome. This is Dr. Ina at Digestive Reset. I'm a doctor of pharmacy, functional medicine practitioner, and we have a really great topic, something that people with most chronic digestive problems have. They are confused what they can eat, what they should eat, and some of the foods come back as a sensitivity later, and new food sensitivities show up. And it's an ongoing game that people are trying to play and not winning. So I'm bringing on this topic because I've been dealing and solving these problems for people for the past 16 years of my private practice. And I was a Crohn's patient myself. I had to find ways before I shared my experience as a practitioner for myself, and seeing so many food sensitivity tests for the past 16 years and making conclusions and seeing what works. I feel like I can definitely share with you and help you resolve these issues. So let's look at the slides I prepared for you. And by the way, if you're interested, just make a comment on the page and under this video, and I will be happy to share the slides with you. And I have a lot of resources on my website, digestivereset.com, which has my two best-selling books available for a free download. All right, so let's talk about why your food sensitivities keep changing and what that actually means. If you ever said last year eggs were fine and now they're not, gluten was the problem until it wasn't. I feel like my body keeps betraying me. I want you to hear this clearly. Your body is not broken. Your food sensitivities are not random. They're messages just through the gut instead of messages you hear. After more than 15, now 16 years of my functional medicine practice, here's what I learned and what most people are never told. Food sensitivities change because your immune system and your gut environment are changing. A lot of factors, a lot of little details are going to affect it. Not because the food is an enemy, and many people are so afraid of eating. They develop disorders, they overeating, undereating, losing weight, afraid to eat because it will make them whether run to the bathroom. They can't truly work or live. I've been there, I know. So not because you need to keep eliminating forever, but we want to break this down. It's very important understanding and doing something about it. Not only understanding, not only staying in analysis paralysis, because we are given so much information on social media and different groups. People are sharing their experiences, but their experience is not yours. So it's incredibly important to understand what's going on with you. So reasons are these. Your gut barrier isn't stable yet. When the gut lining is inflamed or overly permeable, which is another word for leaky gut, foods that should be harmless start triggering immune reactions. As inflammation improves or flares, the list of problem foods shift. Most of the time, it gets better. You start to being able to digest better. You start to have less reactivity, less food sensitivity to different foods. And it's amazing to see results of my clients when they address their leaky gut or gut barrier. And there are many different ways to address it. One of the simplest and most effective yet really underutilized, I believe, is amino acid L-glutamine that people are not using enough. For that, again, there's no individual advice that I'm giving here. But it's something to consider trying for most people. And again, work with your practitioner, find out if that's for you. And you might need other supplements or other foods or support with your leakiness. And that's why eliminating more and more foods does not fix the issue. People end up extremely restricted, and they still don't feel well, and they feel deprived. Deprived, and when you feel deprived, you're eventually gonna just start eating everything. And actually, some foods should be eliminated, especially in the beginning of gut healing. There are certain foods that should be eliminated for everyone. Inflammatory foods, I go over that in my first two sessions of the program I have with my clients. Those are very important. And I talk about anti-inflammatory diet in one of my other videos. Please look there. So the problem isn't food, it's the terrain, right? It's the barrier. Number two is your immune system is adapting, not malfunctioning, not broken. Most food sensitivities are delayed immune responses, not true allergies. That's another misconception with food sensitivities. We think those are allergies. Allergies when you're having an histaminic response, right? You're a little swollen, you're itchy, it's a true reaction, and it's typically IgE reaction on the blood work that you see. Many food sensitivities are not IgE reactions, they're IgG reactions, and we have to look at the specific types of testing. Some food sensitivity labs would look for the fresh cells, some look in the bigger picture, IgG, IgM, other markers, but majority of food sensitivity tests are still looking at IgG response. That could also be tricky because a lot of people notice that what shows up is literally what they ate for breakfast, again, because they have a severe leaky gut, and that's what shows up. So you have to have a really experienced practitioner figure out your case when something like that shows up. So your delayed immune system response can be influenced by stress, sleep, nutrient deficiencies. Here we go, micronutrient testing, something I talk about a lot, and I really think it's important. Hormones, medications, infections. When those factors change, your reactions change too. It's not a failure, it's physiology. So improving these will yield a beautiful improvement with your food tolerances, food reactions, normal food sensitivities. Number three, your microbiome plays a huge role. That's probably not a surprise to you. Your gut bacteria helps teach your immune system what is safe. Antibiotics, illness, probiotics, diet changes, travel, or chronic stress can shift your microbiome, and suddenly foods you tolerated before feel inflammatory. And that's why testing is important. Checking what's going on with your microbiome through stool testing often, that matters way more than memorizing food lists and seeing what is exactly going on. I specifically love, there is the lab called GI Map. Often GI map with zonulin add-on. Zonulin would be showing the results of leakiness in the gut. Number 4, stress can trigger food reactions even with the same foods. So people often can travel and eat the same food, and all of a sudden they're reacting without realizing that the travel itself was a very stressful event for them. And it surprises people. When your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, that's the next result. So what we do in cases like that, again, this is something general, but I think it's a good idea to try if you're not yet seeing someone experience digestive enzymes as a support, immune system support, and when the inflammation increases, if you brought something anti-inflammatory with you, or just simply ask for more curcumin in food. Consider eating more omega-3 foods when you travel. This way your inflammation process starts to decrease. So the same exact foods that can feel fine 1 month and awful the next, that's an example when you travel and where you're having to take a test, a big test you've been studying for and been very stressed about it. That is excellent example of why all of a sudden you're not digesting well. So here are the enzymes and immune system support and inflammation support. Good things to take on board while you have this stressful time in your life. And of course, working with the professional that can help you through this. Number 5, food sensitivity tests are snapshots. They're not lifelong sentences. So we used to think that you test it and that's it. You now have this food sensitivity forever. It doesn't seem this way at all. Some of the, if not most of food allergies stay with you for most of your life. It's a different reaction. Food sensitivity is not like allergy, like I explained a little earlier. So testing can be helpful to be able to tell these apart. Testing is important for other reasons. And like I said, stool test is a great choice to see microbiome, to see even histaminic response done. That GI map test is a good thing to look. Am I having that type of reaction, or is it really food sensitivity? So without addressing root causes, people end up with retesting, eliminating more food, feeling confused, discouraged. Healing doesn't come from chasing numbers, it comes from restoring balance. And I don't need to tell you that you need to get decent amount of sleep and eat better and walk and drink a lot of clean water. It's incredibly important to do all that, and incredibly important to have a diverse microbiome, meaning different foods that can expand the number of your beneficial microbiome, the keystone species, good guys in your gut. All that will be helpful if you're eating a lot of different foods. Very important. So to the reframe that I want you to remember, food is not a problem. Your internal environment is more of an issue. And the goal here is not shrinking your diet, is not fearing food, because I see this a lot. I see young girls starting to eat less, losing weight. It's such important time of their lives when hormones are stabilizing, when quality fat is so important. They stop having their periods when they get stressed about eating foods and starting to eat less. So if you have a daughter that's a teen or young adult and dealing with this issue, Please make sure she gets good quality fats. Please make sure you address food sensitivity in the right way. There is no perfect eating. There's the right eating for you. So the goal here is to calm the immune system. Do that with the work of a practitioner or immune system support that you use to that usually helps you repair gut barrier. If it's not L-glutamine, it's something else for you. Again, really important to do what's right for your gut. Restore the microbiome. Sometimes you could have overgrown species that needs to be cleaned out first, and then you balance microbiome. Regulate nervous system, whatever works for you, whether it's tapping or meditations or some kind of other support, please address that as well, because you'll see the difference with food sensitivities, and strategically bring foods back. What I recommend for my clients, and again, I've been doing that for a really long time, is to bring foods back one by one. Bring them one by one, and not even for daily use. Give it anywhere between 3 to 5 days to a week for the new food to see how you tolerate it, if you are reacting. Sometimes it could be a delayed reaction. Give it time, especially the big ones like gluten, soy, corn, eggs, the big culprits often for people with gut inflammation. And when that happens, food sensitivities often fade, stabilize, and disappear entirely for many people, not for everyone. Please remember, you could be one of those people that still have to stay gluten-free, for example, like myself. That's something that I was never be able to get over, and that's okay. There's so many options. It's a beautiful world out there. Plus, the more you could create of your recipes, the better. Less processed foods, the better. So we could talk about gluten-free options on a different live here. So if your food reactions keep changing, it means that it does not mean that you're doing something wrong. Something inside is going on that's giving you messages. It's asking for deeper support, not more restrictions. And if you get that concept, that's where functional medicine shines. You could schedule the initial consult. You could go to my website, Digestive Reset, to schedule to get free resources. I have Digestive Reset book there for a free download. You could get my Crohn's and Colitis Fix best-selling books that were helpful for so many. I get so many responses. I get emails from people that never scheduled with me, never had a session with me, but when they read my books or listened to my social media videos or lives or posts, and they are doing better. There are ways to get better. I am very excited for you if you decided for yourself that that's it. This is the time for me. This is the time to heal. I'm gonna do it slowly because that's really the right way to do it. And when I do it slowly, I get to slow and steady wins the race. I get to my goal. Eventually, you'll get to your goal. But do establish a goal, because without a goal, you can't get there. I was thrilled to be here with you at this live, and I am planning to do these on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Please share topics you want me to talk about on the lives in the following few weeks. I have a lineup from people that asked me to talk about different topics, and I'm happy to talk about those on the next couple of weeks, but the following weeks are not yet ready. So I'm happy to hear your suggestions. And this was Dr. Ina at Digestive Reset and Melamed Institute, because I'm also training. And I will see you guys next week.